Alright, so it's time to head back to the crime scene, because that's what Poirot wants to do at this point.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Japp to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
Reconstruction, this again.
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Are they going in there? He's not attacking yet. I think they're advancing, right?
Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6.
Okay, I would still think advance, but I guess Betty changes?
Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code.
I guess she removes her belt.
The killer tries to remove his victim's belt. She panics and tries to stop him.
That's wrong.
She runs away, pursued by her assailant.
No, there is no sign of a chase. Things must have happened differently. Let us think again, mon cher.
Alright, that was definitely wrong. Now we have to do it all over again.
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Yeah, they proceed. It's funny, whenever Hastings starts
Both
talking...
of them walk slowly to hut number 6.
It's wrong. So Hastings is really portrayed as a big idiot in this game. Whatever he
Miss
says
Betty enters the hut.
appears to be wrong.
She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code.
Is the killer bold, or is it just a guy to portray for the reconstruction? I guess they advance a little further. Or what? Or does he attack? I don't know.
They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Okay, so he was right, after all.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
New objective, go back to London. I can play the reconstruction again. Why would I want to do that? Go back to London. That seems a more viable option. We established how she was killed. We don't have the murderer yet. We established that it was the ABC murder. Look at that crab floating over the beach. And that's it. And Poirot just walks quite casually towards the cab. Hastings is already there. He is much faster than the old Poirot. How old is he anyway? Like somewhere in his 50s, I assume. Maybe 60, and I think 55 or something like it.
Right, back to London. There is nothing more for us to do here.
Okay.
I'm coming, Poirot. According to the guide, the next train departs shortly.
Let's go then. Chapter 3. Right?
Japp has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
It is not a bad idea. The more people who know, the greater our chances of finding out something of interest.
Poirot, I have a bad feeling. Poor Mr. Poirot, not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps. Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time, it's an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It's a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC. Good hunting. Did you hear that, Poirot? The murderer seems to be taking it all as a game, a challenge. He will strike on 30th in Churston. We must warn Scotland Yard.
Is it the 13th today? No, let's let Hastings answer the question to make him even feel more dumb than he already is.
By the way, Hastings, what day is it?
Well, looking at the calendar, it's the 30th.
Hastings, today is the 30th.
No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
We want a trophy, pyramidal moustache. And I wonder if the killer continues until we reach Z. For now we have to call Scotland Yard. Still the same cookies and food. They're not rotting yet. What's in the newspapers today?
Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him.
And the other one?
Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight.
Let's phone ahead.
Hello, Japp. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Churston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
So it must be a person that has a name and a surname starting with the C. Like Carlos Churchill or whatever. Prepare to leave for Churston. Oh, he's already packing the bags. Good work.
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
Hastings must have it hard with this Poirot. Again, portrayed as an idiot. Yeah, Hastings, order is essential.
Hastings' order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay. I'll let you pack them.
I'm feeling sorry for him.
Or the same. It really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess.
Okay, so we learn about Poirot wanting to put stuff in orderly fashion. Pajamas, bath towels, badly closed toothpaste. Okay. Unprotected bottles.
Voila! It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right.
Always right.
I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two. Although I have very little doubt about what we will find.
Okay, we have to compare letters again. Could be that it isn't the killer this time, but it's a copycat.
In his haste, Hastings tore the envelope.
Alright, we got 2 pieces of envelope. And letter C from ABC.
Poor Mr. Poirot.
Yeah, we already read it. Has the same A's and I's. The same W, so it must be the same guy. We established it's a guy, right? Though it might be a woman. Hastings stored the envelope that held the killer's letter, however he did not have to throw it on the ground. Not known at the White Horse Mansions and White Horse Court. Try Whitehaven Mansions. Now the other part? The address written on this envelope is wrong. The killer wrote White Horse Mansions. It is a mistake? Could be. He's already ready to leave. Can we talk to him?
Mon ami, it is a pleasure to be working with you again. I have missed you this past few years.
They were best buds when they were young.
Poirot, since my return, I see that you have fewer grey hairs than when I last saw you. How is that possible?
Mon ami, I am sure that you will find the explanation all on your own.
He uses hair dye.
Hastings, for your hair,
Yes?
there exists an accessory, how shall I say, that can be fastened to the scalp and covered with your own hair. Let me be quite clear, it is not a wig.
Come on, Poirot, I'm not losing my hair. It's just thin slightly.
This is quite an issue, isn't it? The hair of those two guys. So he wants a kind of wig for him. Okay.
Please don't stare at me, Poirot. It gives me a sore head.
A sore head.
Hastings, it would appear that you are getting slightly thin on top.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
It really bugs him, doesn't he? Hercule Poirot. Alright. Yeah, his hair is looking fine. Look at that. Maybe... No, there's no mirror. Oh, there. But I'm not going there. Let's just read the letters.
Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one. Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects.
Yeah, we know them already.
Yes, this I is weird.
And the W.
The W is not printed properly.
And the A.
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
So that's it, right?
Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects.
Oh, we have to go.
I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Yeah, all over this again. Why do we have to?
The W is not printed properly.
Yes.
Right. Let us compare.
Can you
Of
interact?
course, the double.
I know.
I have to find some.
Yes, another. We did this earlier. Remember?
Yes, this. Right. Let us compare this with the other.
Tedious process to do this all over again. So what was I pointing out? The I?
Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same
Yeah.
My theory was right. These two letters.
Come on. What is
Let
this?
us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Again? Was it just me, or was that really stupid? Because, you know, Poirot received another letter. The first one and the second one he compared. They had the same similarities, so why do it again? Why does the murderer warn us so late? Japanese society revealed details to the press. The alphabet murderer is now famous. Letter C was sent at the right date. Bottle of White Horse whiskey. Piece of envelope with the wrong address. Ah, that's it. Alright. So it was delivered wrong. ABC guide.
The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone. It must be Jap.
Mon ami, it is a pleasure to be working with you again.
He is not very fast answering the phone.
I have some news from Churston. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clarke was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clarke. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train. The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clarke, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon.
Very pretty location this time. Better than the other ones. The beach was nice, but these are the cliffs. One of the most